Hey, what's up guys? Vindico here. I'm jumping into the newly released TheCrew Motorfest, and I wanted to share some clips with you all as I play and share my thoughts on the game. And okay, so get this. It's been 6 long years and a lot of personal growth and creative capabilities since I last decided to upload video content on YouTube. And if you're watching for the first time, I'm glad you decided to check out my channel. Motorfest is turning heads in the racing game community, so I think I revisited the YouTube scene at the right moment. I'm sure this line here blazes past most of you as you've heard it a million times from other creators, but please feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That would make my day. Alright, let's get into it. This is the new crew, TheCrew Motorfest. Long story short, I'm loving it, and it's a great segue off TheCrew 1 and 2. There's so much to this game that it offers that the previous crews did not, and I think the launch of this game went fairly well so far. For one thing, the graphics quality of the game has improved tremendously. Many of you crew fans knew about the struggles of the Crew 2 when it came to the graphics. They just weren't it. The developers seem to prioritize map size and the game performance over graphics quality. That can no longer be the case with newer games, as now we have the Xbox Series X, PS5, and powerful PCs. Otherwise, you may as well just forget about a racing experience that doesn't deliver on the emotional high you get from the overwhelming details surrounding you. Like, let's be real here, TheCrew Motorfest looks stunning. Plants, trees, objects, buildings, and all have more of just about everything. Leaves and grass render beautifully off the ground, and shadows present much smoother and in depth. The developers have clearly put more detail into the buildings. We see more creativity in the architectural designs of many of them, and every so often are presented with stunning landmarks or sites that didn't seem to impress as much in the previous crew titles. The environment is more interactive too. Your car can get stuck in the sand, grass actually gets flattened when you drive over it, and your car is more likely to lose grip if you run off the road. These little things impact the game in a big way and don't go unnoticed. Attention to detail makes a big difference, and it's clear Ubisoft embraced that aspect of the game. Let's also address the map size. If you don't know this yet, it's noticeably smaller than the previous games. But that's okay if we're thinking about less being more, right? I would say so. Given that the map is smaller, it makes it so much easier on your hardware to process high levels of detail. We may have more powerful rigs than before, but at the end of the day, there's a performance cap somewhere for everyone, so it's worth considering that alone. After exploring much of the map myself, I can admit this. I like it more than the Forza Horizon 5's Mexico map. The city has more to it than the small villages on the Mexico map, and it looks absolutely stunning at night. The beach coastline is more dynamic and unique of a driving experience than that of Forza's, and tunnels and bridges have more depth and personality to them, with more colors, modern architecture, S-turns, various scenic views, as well as other things. Generally speaking, it seems to be the case that there's a scenic view around every turn. As someone who has experience creating maps in video games frequently myself, I can tell you with certainty that this is no simple task. Now, with the races specifically, like the Grand Race, I would say that I'm not quite sure yet how long it will have an appeal for people as they play the game. Yet, I really appreciate the unique aspect of this event where you race up to 27 other drivers, you being the 28th, and all hell breaks loose from the start. You select 3 different vehicles based on the race's classes assigned for everyone. Every third of the way through the race, you reach a checkpoint that transforms your vehicle into the vehicle you chose for the next class in the event. I think this is brilliant because, for one thing, it's a very fresh twist to a racing experience. For the most part, it seems the racing community has faded interest with racing games over the years, and that just makes sense to me. Why though? Is it because we've just gotten bored of the same thing and different versions of the same thing every time we get a new game? Or is it just because we don't get what we want out of a racing experience? It seems to be that Ubisoft took both of these things into account when creating this event. A fresh take on racing like this will bring in new players and racing veterans alike. So, with that part addressed, take a look at my favorite wins so far. My advice to you on these races: Learn the tracks by memory, figure out what routes to take to avoid collisions, and don't give up so easily. Accept that you slammed into a guardrail or ran off the road and get back on it. You'd be very surprised what recoveries could occur in this mode. It's a long race and a lot can happen. So with much of the positive vibes this game brings, I will say I have a few critiques of the game's experience. However, I'll save that for another time. I hope you enjoyed my first Motorfest video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Motorfest content in the future. And stick around for more racing.